Hey guys, and welcome back to our JavaScript beginner course. In the last episode, we covered error handling and debugging, which is an essential skill for every developer. And today, we are going to learn about some powerful modern JavaScript, that is ES6 features. Features that make coding easier and more efficient. Now, we have already discussed about some of the features like let const, which are the concept of changing or updating the variable and defining its scope, that is block scope for this case. And we have also discussed about arrow functions, which help to make our function syntax shorter and easier to read. And what we'll be learning today is about template literals, that is, they help in better string handling, destructuring, and spread and rest operators as well. So let's get started with template literals at first. So what template literals are is they allow you to create dynamic strings easily using backticks. And backticks are the symbols that are present in this area of your keyboard right here. I have put a representation of your keyboard and it should be right here. And I am going to demonstrate how they allow us to create strings, dynamic strings easily. So I'm going to show you an example by writing a variable name called let name equals Alex, for example. And suppose I want to print out hello Alex. Now in previous versions, or previously how I've shown you to do this is by using the plus operator to join strings. So I would type out hello, then plus, and the variable name, that is Alex, will be stored here, and it should print out hello Alex. Now this is tedious since we have to exit out of the string, then use the plus operator, then the variable name. So in order to easily insert variables, we can make the use of template literals, which is done by this method. Create a set of backticks and then write hello, and in order to access the variable or insert the variable value, you can use the $sign, then a set of curly braces, and then the variable name. And how this helps us is it takes the place of the variable, or it inputs the value of the variable. So hello Alex. So why use template literals? It is easier to read and write as well. It allows multi-line strings. So it should print out all this. It should allow multi-line strings as well, and it allows us to easily insert variables. So this is one of the features of ES6. The next feature we have is destructuring, which helps us to extract values easily. So destructuring makes it easy to extract values from arrays and objects, and I'll demonstrate it with each one of them. So let me create an array called const numbers and then put some numbers in it like 10, 20, and 30. Now let's say I want to access the values of the array but without indexing. So I can just create const and then first, because I want to access the first value. It is in order, by the way, so second. So second equals the array I want to access it from, so numbers. Now if I type out console.log first and second, it should print out the first and second values, so 10 and 20. Now this is just a variable, so it can be anything like a and b as well. It doesn't have to be first and second specifically. Now if I type out a and b, it should give us the same result. So this is destructuring in arrays. So in the case of an object, let me create an object called const user equals name Alice and then comma, because I want to separate the properties, age 25. Now if I want to access the values of the object without using dot notation, I can do it like this: const name age equals the object I want to access it from, so user. Now console.log name, and age. Now these are the key names from the object we want to access it from. So it should print out the values of the keys, that is Alice and 25. And this is destructuring in objects. So why destructuring? It helps make data extraction quick and clean, and it avoids repetitive dot notation. Since if I wanted to access the values name and age, I would have to type out user.name and user.age respectively, and this is easier. So this is destructuring in JavaScript. Moving on to the next feature, we have the spread operator and the rest operator, which are both symbolized by these three dots right here. So the spread operator helps us to expand arrays and objects, and the rest operator gathers multiple values into a single array. And let me give you a demonstration with an example. So I'll create two arrays, const arr1 equals, let's say 1, 2, and 3. Now if I want to create another array by including the first array in it, I can use the spread operator. So const arr2 equals dot 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 and then the name of the array you want to include or merge, that is arr1, and then 4, 5. Now let's print out and see what value is contained by array 2, that's arr2. So console.log arr2, and we can see that the first array has been merged into the second through the use of the spread operator. And this is the use of the spread operator in an array in JavaScript. Moving on towards using the spread operator in an object, we can create two objects and merge them into one. So let's create const object1, which will be equal to name and then, as always, Alex or Alice, and close this. Const object2 equals age 25. So, and we can create a third object, const merged equals dot dot dot, that is this spread operator, object1, because we want to merge both object1 and dot 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 object2. So let's see if the spread operator has worked in this case. Console.log merged. So we can see that both the object1 and object2 is merged into object merged since we have used the spread operator. And this is the use of the spread operator. Now moving on to the rest operator, it is for when you want to merge all of the different items into an array. So suppose I have a function which takes in an array, which should take in an array called sumAll. So I'll use the rest operator in this case, dot 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 numbers, so that any number of arguments that are passed into this function when calling it are stored in an array. So open this and console.log numbers. So let's see, when I call this function sumAll with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as arguments, there are 5 separate arguments. Now let's see what this will print out. So since the rest operator is used, all of the values that are passed into this function are stored in an array. So this is the use of the rest operator. The rest operator allows the functions to accept an unlimited amount of arguments, as we can see here. No matter how many arguments we add in this, it will always keep on adding like this. So it makes function parameters more flexible. And why use the spread operator? It helps us to manipulate arrays and objects easily. And that is about it for the features that we are going to be discussing today. And as always, we do have a mini challenge for you guys, and the challenge is to write a function which takes any number of arguments and returns the maximum value using the rest operator. And you can drop your answers in the comments below. And the hint for this challenge is to use the math.max method, which returns the largest number from a given set of numbers. And it doesn't take arrays as an argument. However, you can use the spread operator to pass an array to math.max. So in the next episode, we'll be discussing about asynchronous code in JavaScript that includes JavaScript promises and async and await. So make sure you tune in for that. And if you like the video, hit a like and smash that subscribe button. And check out coding.com for interactive courses. See you guys in the next one.